and welcome to our session on visualization. I'm Emmalou Penrod, and I want to talk about 5 steps to visualize your success. You may already be aware of how powerful visualization is. And if you're not aware, let me just quickly review that your mind is actually made up of 3 parts. You have your conscious mind, which is the part of your mind you're most aware of. That's the part of your mind that takes in information from all of your senses. This is what you know. And some people believe that that is all of their mind, but they would be mistaken. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There is a much larger mass beneath the surface of the water called your subconscious. And your subconscious is just a huge database. It's been gathering information about you since actually before you were born, because studies show that the babe in utero hears sounds. They respond to the environment the mother is in. So all this time, data is being collected and stored in your subconscious, writing programs that determine how you feel about yourself, how you feel about the world around you, how you feel with the people, whether you learn to trust and accept that the world is a beautiful, wonderful place with opportunities. And visualization, there is actually a 3rd part of your mind. And this is the part of your mind that kind of overarches all of that iceberg. This is the part of your mind that allows you to connect with your higher power, whatever your religious or philosophical beliefs are, that source greater than you, greater than yourself. And it knows what's best for you. It knows everything in the conscious, everything in the subconscious, and it knows what you need to do, but it will not go against your free will. It is also very aware of what you need and what you're ready for. So this is, when we use visualization, we're going outside the conscious mind and using our full mental capabilities. And if you think you're smart and doing well now, just wait till you tap in to all of your mental capabilities. Several authors have written about visualization and its power. In the book, Napoleon Hill, author of the book Think and Grow Rich, wrote, "Hold a picture of yourself long and steadily enough in your mind's eye, and you will be drawn toward it." And Robert Foster Bennett wrote, "Visualization is daydreaming with a purpose." I love that. And that really is true. I think we all daydream, but when we daydream with a purpose, with a focus, that's visualization. Georges St-Pierre wrote, "The key to effective visualization is to create the most detailed, clear, and vivid picture to focus on as possible. The more vivid the visualization, the more likely and quickly you are to begin attracting the things that help you achieve what you want to get done." And William Blake wrote, "What is now proved was once only imagined." And isn't that true? If you look at the history of technology, Albert Einstein said, "Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere." You may already be aware that athletes use this tool of visualization all the time. The golfer will see in his mind himself dropping the perfect putt. He will see it in detail repeatedly. And then when he steps out on the green, his body responds just as he has visualized, and it happens. Interesting thing about your central nervous system. This is the part of your brain that takes in the information from your senses and helps you understand the environment you're in. But it's also the part of your brain you use when you daydream or imagine or visualize. And your central nervous system does not know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. So we're going to go through 5 steps to help you visualize yourself as a winner. The first one is to focus on your goals. You have goals, right? Do you have them written down? A thought, an idea is a wish. If we want it to happen, we write it down. And this is the acronym for SMART. I'm sure you've heard about writing SMART goals. In the first place, they need to be specific. It isn't good enough to say, I want to earn more money. I want to be wealthy. How much money do you want to earn? What kind of a car do you want to own? Where do you want to live? What kind of a relationship do you want to have? How many clients or customers do you want to serve? Make sure you have a specific goal in mind. You know exactly what you want. The next is to make it measurable. How do you know you're there if you don't know the quantity, what it takes to get there? So it needs to be something you can measure. For example, think in terms of, I want to be happier. Well, how do you know when you're happy? How can you measure? Put it in a measurable form. You know, for some people, happiness is eating 3 meals a day. So find a way to measure it, not only so you know when you have it, so you'll know how the progress you're making, how far down the road you are towards reaching this goal. It needs to be attainable. You may set a goal that you're going to earn $5 million the first year you're in business. Is it attainable?
On a scale of 1 to 5, would you give yourself a 5 on achieving what you want in life? If your answer is anything less than a 5, right now, I have something awesome for you. Achieving your goals and living your life at a 5 isn't easy. Most people aren't prepared to focus, stay disciplined, and do the everyday work that is necessary to achieve amazing results. But since you're watching this, then I'm guessing that you're not one of those people. And this is an opportunity that will change your life. Give to Get is a global program that brings together world-class coaching and combines it with empowering masterminds and networking opportunities. We provide 5-star guidance for the price of a cup of coffee a day. To find out more, click on the link in the description of this coaching session.
Is it something you actually could do? It might be more realistic to say, I'm going to earn $1 million the first year I'm in business. But make sure it's something you can do, keeping in mind that you can only set a goal for yourself. You can't set a goal for someone else. You can't, if you try to set a goal for that involves what other people need to do, that's not attainable. And an example would be if you have a business partnership that you really want to last for years, it isn't helpful to set a goal that your business partnership will remain intact for 20 years because you have no control over what your business partner does. You can set goals over what you will do, how you'll communicate and treat your business partner so he will want to continue working with you. That's the attainable part. Relevant means it needs to be related to what you want. If what you want is a satisfying, loving relationship, then writing goals about earning money aren't really related to that. Your goals would need to be on how you could reach that kind of relationship you want, the kind of person you would need to be. And the last is time bound. Give yourself a deadline. Decide when this will be achieved. It's also helpful to break it down into benchmarks or increments. If you haven't already done this exercise, it's quite common in self-development courses. And that is to write a detailed essay of where you want to be in 5 years. And if you haven't done this recently, I highly recommend that you take time to do that. And again, it needs to be detailed. Write down exactly what you want to have happen in 5 years. What kind of a home do you want to be living in? Where do you want to live? What will you be doing? What kind of work do you want to be involved in? Who do you want to be there with you? What kind of car do you want to drive? What kind of clothes do you want to wear? What about what is your ideal weight? What do you want what kind of physical health do you want to be in? But if you write down this goal, this idea, this long-term objective of where you want to be in 5 years, this is like the young boy plowing out in the field, and he's trying to make a straight furrow. He keeps looking down at the plow, trying to get it to go straight. And by the time he gets to the end of the row, he looks back and it's just zigging all over the place. And his father walks up and said, "Not looking too straight." He says, no, didn't make it straight. And then his dad gives him a wise piece of advice. He said, look at the other end of the field, pick a focal point there, and just don't look down at the plow, look there at the other end of the field. And the son tried it, got a perfectly straight furrow. This is what we're doing with this. Where do you want to be 5 years from now? You're looking at the other end of the field to see what you want. What do you want to be? And once you have a long-term goal, then we come in with the incremental. How do we get there? I like to have quarterly goals. I like to start out with, this is what I am going to accomplish in the next 12 weeks. I like to break it down into 12 weeks. And then I break it down into weeks. This is what I need to do this week to move me down through the quarter to get me closer to where I want to be in 5 years. And then I have daily goals. And I call it my big three. I like to pick 3 actions that will move me towards meeting that weekly goal, and then focus on those. I can have a to-do list of other things I do, but I know if I accomplish those top 3 things, that I will be a day closer to reaching my weekly goals, and then a week closer to meeting my quarterly goals, and then further down the row to being where I want to be 5 years from now. So if you don't already have concrete goals written down, posted in a place where you can see them and be reminded about them, take time to do that. So you're going to write your essay on where you want to be 5 years from now, and then your goals, how you're going to get there. And then the next step is the setting. You need to find a place that's quiet, where you won't be disturbed, where you can be totally comfortable and relaxed. Notice I have two examples here. The man is outside, and the woman is inside. Now, the man, it could be argued, is also combining another health tip, and that's grounding. Many health experts advise taking time every day to connect with earth, either standing barefoot in the grass or laying down like this, and just connecting with the earth. That is also beneficial. But whether you're outside or inside, the important thing is it needs to be where you won't feel rushed. You've allowed time in your schedule for this. You're able to get in a comfortable position. You're not worried about anybody charging in or being disrupted in any way. The time of day may matter. If you have young children, you may want to do this in the morning before they get up. I have found the most beneficial time to be in the morning. I make it part of my morning routine, my morning ritual. And on another time, we can talk about routine and rituals, how to begin your day, how to end your day. They can be so powerful in setting the pace that you want. So consider the time of day, make it part of your daily routine, fit it in, find where it will fit, find the right setting, the right place, and then breathe. Do you know all of the health benefits there are to just breathing deeply? It sounds so simple. And yet anyone who studied yoga or many other health practices knows of the value, because breathing deeply is a signal to your central nervous system that it's time to calm down and relax. If you just, anytime you're feeling your stress level going up, your blood pressure rising, stop and start breathing deeply. And you'll be amazed at the difference you'll notice. The Mayo Clinic says that focusing on your breath is a very powerful tool. And they recommend learning breathing techniques that ease anxiety, depression, and other stress-related issues. It's that powerful. I used to teach a hypnobirthing class to help women get through the stress of childbirth. And breathing, especially deep breathing, was a big part of this practice. We had one technique I taught was called calm breathing. And it consisted of breathing in to the count of 4 and then exhaling to the count of 8. And this was a technique that they were to use to help them focus, help settle their conscious mind, and focus and relax, to help them relax, especially as the surge was starting. They would use this calm breathing. Well, I had an interesting story. One of my students told me while she was still pregnant, she was rear-ended and she could feel herself just starting to have a panic attack. You know, some truck just ran into the back of her car, but she remembered calm breathing. She started using it and she was able to calm down and deal with the situation at hand. You know, talk to the police officer, get the insurance information, do everything she needed to do to deal with having been rear-ended. So deep breathing is a powerful tool. You may want to use it in more than just this visualization activity. Before you're going into that potentially highly stressful meeting or any situation you know has the power to completely discombobulate you or just, you know, raise your blood pressure, start with deep breathing. And it's a very important step in our visualization process. So you're focused on your goals. You found the right setting. You're breathing deeply. The next thing to do is mentally go to your favorite place. It could be a place you've actually been, maybe a memory from your childhood, maybe going to grandma's always just made you feel so happy. It could be a place that you haven't been. Maybe it's on your dream vacation. It could even be an imaginary place. The important thing, all of these pictures are just giving you some ideas. The important thing is that it's a place where you feel totally calm, happy, confident, and secure. So whatever place, maybe it's your favorite fishing hole, maybe it's hiking up in the mountains, by the beach, whatever it is for you, just identify that place that when you're there, you feel good. You like the way you feel. And remember, your central nervous system doesn't recognize the difference between what's real and what's imagined. So you will feel just as calm and happy as if you were actually there. Put yourself in that happy place, your favorite place. And I wanted to share a quote from the book, The Biology of Belief, by Bruce Lipton. And he writes, I believe the greatest problem we face is that we think we are running our lives with the wishes, desires, and aspirations created by our conscious mind. When we struggle or fail to obtain our goals, we are generally led to conclude that we are victims of outside forces, preventing us from reaching our destination. However, neuroscience has now established that the conscious mind runs the show. At best, only about 5% of the time. So tapping into these other parts of your mind through visualization will be very powerful in helping you reach your goals. Now, some people are auditory learners. They really struggle with visualization. If you feel like, how can I visualize something that's not there? Use words. Describe the place to yourself. Use whatever learning technique you have, whatever works for you. And again, the more detail you can add, for example, if it's inside, what room is it? How big is the room? What kind of flooring is it? Does it have deep, thick carpet, or is it a hardwood floor? Are there windows? How big are the windows? What window dressing is there? What are the colors in the wall and the furniture? What furniture is there? Mentally walk around the room and feel the texture of every item in the room and evaluate, is it rough or smooth? Is it hard or soft? Is it warm or cool? Add in the detail in any way you can. If it's outside, what plants are there? Are there any animals there? What sounds do you hear? What smells do you smell? The more detail you can add, the better. The more you can be there, the better. Now, the next vital important part is imagine a scale that runs 1 to 10. 1's low, 10's high. And this scale is the measure of how you feel about yourself. It's how loved you feel, how capable, worthy, deserving. It's your self-esteem, your self-respect, your self-worth. And bring that score up to a 10. Awesome. This is a challenge for a lot of people. We really tend to be hard on ourselves. We can have a day when we did 25 amazing, brilliant things, but we made one mistake. And human nature is to focus on the one mistake. But in this exercise, think of your accomplishments. Think of everything you're grateful for. Think of how unique you are. You have gifts and talents no one else has. There are things that only you can offer the world. So think about that. And if you find, as you try this visualization exercise, that you're struggling to bring your score up to 10, I suggest, in addition to writing out where you want to be in 5 years from now and writing out your goals, take time to write down everything you're grateful for. Every accomplishment you have achieved since you were in kindergarten, every award you've won, every recognition, every time you helped someone else. And if you still have trouble with that, ask a trusted friend to help you. What's good about me? What are my strengths? But they are there. Never doubt that. And take the time to be very familiar with them so that in this visualization exercise, you can bring that score up to a 10. Awesome. Some people are benefited by reflecting on their connection with their higher power, whether that's the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. But if they feel they were created by a higher being, that helps them raise that score to 10. So bring that score up to 10. Recognize the eternal truth that you have great value. And now you've done that, you're up at a 10. Now see your future self. Couple of ideas for doing this. You can imagine you're sitting in a movie theater, you're looking at the big screen, and there you are up on the big screen. You can see yourself as a hologram. You're in the room and you see yourself. You're looking in a mirror and you see you 5 years from now at your ideal weight, in the physical condition that you wrote down in where you want to be 5 years from now, doing the things you want to be doing 5 years from now, having the relationships you want to be having 5 years from now. Whatever visualization technique works the best for you, focus on that. And two possible exercises you can do here. Once you can clearly see your future self, the you wish to become, you can ask your future self, what do I need to do to get where you are? And you will be amazed at the insights that come. You could also imagine that you are merging with your future self. You are becoming the person you wish to be. Try them both. Find the one that resonates the most with you. As you go through this practice, you will fine-tune it and you will adapt it so that it works for you. And there is no right or wrong way. These are steps to follow. Some people ask, well, do I need to close my eyes? It will follow naturally. You will naturally close your eyes when you're ready to, if that's the right thing for you to do. If you feel you don't want to close your eyes, it also works just as well to focus on a point on the wall. When I had my children, I was trained in the Lamaze method, and that one taught finding a focal point on the wall and focusing on it. And it has the tendency of just kind of drawing all parts of your mind together, almost like drawing you out of your present circumstance. It's really powerful. So whatever feels natural and right for you, but see your future self. Get what information you can from your future self. You may find there's some goals you need to tweak, some things you need to change. And then check that scale. Make sure you're still up at a 10 and feeling fabulous. And then memorize that feeling. Make it something you can step into later in the day. If something happens that really discourages you, create that memory that is so strong, you can step into it when you need to heal your wounded ego, when you need to be reminded of your greatness. Focus on that. And then just allow yourself to emerge at the pace that is right for you. And you'll come out of it feeling refreshed, invigorated, ready for the day, ready to do whatever needs to be done. So I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, or I would be happy to answer them. You can contact me through the dashboard. Any questions? Does anyone have any questions or any comments they want to make now?